What is up, you guys? This is the White Rabbit, and welcome back to the part of my channel where I go over the comics I have collected. Yeah, we have a rather big stack for this month. And there's actually a whole lot more over here, but I'm going to save that for next month because otherwise we'd be here for a while. Well, first up, we have Extreme Carnage Part 5, Riot. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Riot did not look like this in the Venom movie. But, he looks rather terrifying in this form. Next up, we have Teen Titans Academy number 6, where it looks like a bunch of people are rioting against superhumans. And, that seems to be the case for a lot of superhero shows, stuff like that. Now, this comic in particular is the one that has the most variant editions I have ever seen. Oh, my nose. It has the most variant editions I've ever seen. So we have King Spawn. King Spawn being Spawn. I don't really know what else to say about it. It looks like they kind of did the beginning of his entrance to Mortal Kombat, which I presume is something that has to do with the movie or something like that. Just because of the way he's positioned, it's exactly like in the game. And most of the time, Mortal Kombat references stuff. Next we have King Spawn, and it looks like all the people he has to fight, or has fought. Which, is relatively amazing to see all these people. Like, I recognize the Violator, because he was in the movie. And there's a bunch of creatures on here that look like Spawn from past comics I've shown you guys. Maybe they all coincide into this comic. I don't know. But next, we have Spawn sitting in a chair. I presume he's sitting in the chair. But look at this sword. Look at that. How does anyone plan to defeat him? The dude has a cloak that has a mind of its own, and now he has a sword. The man is indestructible. And as if things couldn't get any worse, he now has a gun. Specifically a machine gun. Actually, that might be a shotgun. I don't know. Because if we remember in Resident Evil Village, I saw a gun exactly like this. And I thought it was a machine gun. It was an auto shotgun. So I don't know if this is a machine gun or shotgun. It's one of those things where we have to figure it out. And then you just got him looking awesome. Him looking exactly like he's supposed to, in an awesome stance, with chains all around him. Next we have him finally sitting in a throne with a crown on the ground and a golden sword. If this means like the king has fallen and Spawn is now king, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Spawn being a king. Because he's Spawn. You're not going to really argue with him. Next up, Spawn kind of in the shadows. Which, is relevant to his character. Because he likes to keep in the shadows. Or somewhat. I don't know. I just really like the artwork on this one. Because it kind of makes his cape look kind of like a Batwing. And it reminds me of like Jeepers Creepers. Which I find to be an amazing film. And then finally, the pencil art cover. Kind of hard to see. But it's the one with the sword that we saw earlier. It's a really amazing sketch of the cover. And if you counted along, there has been 8 covers of this comic. And I didn't even know this was a thing. I just walked into the comic shop that I go to, and here it was. But after all that spawn, we move on to Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads. And I think what's happening with this is it's kind of like that game, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, I believe is the one, where you have to decide whether or not you're going to be the good or the bad Spider-Man. And good and bad is up for debate, because technically you beat the bad guys, but you also don't help the city that much. Next up, we have The Amazing Spider-Man with a Sinister War tie-in. Spider-Man number 72. With this mummy-looking dude. And to be honest, I thought this was a piece of metal that jabbed into Spider-Man the first time I saw it. Still don't know how I feel about the centipedes. I really don't know. Next up, we have Non-Stop Spider-Man, in which he's fighting samurais. I don't know what else to tell you. He's fighting a samurai on the cover. Next we have... Oh, I seem to be missing one. But oh well. Batman Reptilian, where it looks like they messed up the Joker. What's the deal? So that was book 3, and then I'm missing book 2 apparently. But we have Batman Reptilian book 1, where we got a reptile creature with a Batman logo in his eye. I'm going to make an educated guess and say this is like Killer Croc or something. Or they're ripping off Marvel. So this is going to be something a little off the wall from all these superhero comics and stuff like that I have here in front of me. We have Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Number 111. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the superhero stuff, but I'm still a child at heart. So Scooby-Doo goes with the collection. Then we have Extreme Carnage Part 2, Scream. This is the one that I missed, in which, I got 1 and then 3 and then never got 2. But here we are. We have Scream now. She can go with the collection. Now, we move on to... I need to put these in order. Like this. Since I couldn't find number 1, I say as I'm looking through the comics I have to make sure. Yeah, I couldn't find number 1, but we have Spider-Man 2099. And it's not the regular Spider-Man 2099. It is the white suit Spider-Man 2099. And, the first 2 covers, he's fighting a hulking behemoth. Second cover, he's looking like Batman. And then technically the 4th cover, we have him kind of in the shadows with a Captain America lookalike fighting this dude with a spear who kind of looks like Ultron if he finally got a body. I don't know. Next, The Amazing Spider-Man number 35, 2020 variant. Doc Ock has amassed an army of these little blue men to become essentially Willy Wonka of villainy. I crack myself up sometimes. Sinister War, number 2, the variant cover. Now, I have to say I love the comic shop I go to because they always pick out the variant covers for me. And I love them for that. They always have the variants for me. There's a lot of people on this cover I don't recognize. But moving on. We got Sinister War number 3, where it kind of looks like Spider-Man's getting beaten up by everyone. And I don't know how to feel about that. We got a dang pumpkin bomb in the corner. Wow. And then the variant cover to number 3, where it shows kind of everyone. Kind of looks like it's showing female versions of everyone. Which, I have no problem with. I'm just curious of how that would work, because it looks like we got Kraven in female form. We got Electro in female form. We got Doc Ock in female form. Maybe it's a multiverse thing. I don't know. But that is all the comics I have for right now. As I said, I'm saving the others for later. Yeah, but that's all I got. So thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you liked it, you know what to do. Keep things crazy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.